And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show. Today we'll be talking to some bass fishermen here at ETBU. I'm Adam P. Ledyard, the Assistant Athletic Director here for Communications. And special guest today on the Coaches Show, we have bass fishermen Jacob Keith and Mason Beatty. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
It's a special day for these guys as they're coming off a great historic day fishing Lake Rayburn, and ETBU swept first and second place in the FLW. Guys, just talk about that and what that means for the program. First time ever ETBU swept first and second, qualify for nationals. So just talk about that excitement overall.
I definitely think it's something huge for us. Going into practice, that's something you joke about. How awesome it would be for you to have a first place finish, second place finish. And it's something we actually talked about and kind of laughed about the night before the tournament. A little bit shy of what we said. We were hoping each boat would come in. We were saying our first place boat would have 30 pounds, the next boat would have 28. But we weren't far off, but for it to actually come to life the next day, it was huge, and it was kind of breathtaking because it's something that you always talk about but you never really see happening. So definitely a huge moment for us.
Yeah, the Lord He blessed us that day, and we happened to get up on those fish, and we pulled into one spot and caught a 5-pounder our second cast, and man, like 3 casts later we caught an 8-pounder, and we knew it was fixing to happen. So
with this, you guys go out on a lake, and you got skeeter boats, you got all this great equipment. How do you guys find the perfect spot on a lake? What do you use? How do you get there? What's that special sweet spot on the lake?
Well, Sam Rayburn this time of year, you're usually fishing the grass. Mainly everybody's ripping rattle traps through it and stuff. This particular tournament, the water was real high, and you could go around and catch fish out of bushes and stuff like that, but we had got on a little pattern doing that, and they were rather small. We thought we could go get us, 5 3-pounders, maybe get us 15 pounds, and then hopefully catch one big one, but it didn't turn out that way, so we had to resort back to some grass fish that were sitting on one little point that had a hard spot on it, and this time of year those fish are getting ready to spawn, and they get on those hard spots, which is just maybe a blank spot in the grass that might not be as big as this room, but they will be stacked in there, and you can catch 50 to 100 fish a day making the same exact cast. So,
what's some of the equipment that you guys use out there?
First off, it's our ZX 250 made by Skeeter. First and foremost, without that boat, it's just not going to happen. We can't even get out there on the water to get after those fish. Second is going to be our Lowrance graphs. Those were a huge role in us in finding those bare spots in the grass. And then we got our TFO rods set up on Lou's reels, throwing that high seas fluorocarbon, one of the best lines on the market. All that plays a phenomenal role because without that TFO rod, you can't feel, because fish were biting very weird that day. Weren't just grabbing onto it and pulling, they just kind of latch on. It'd feel different to you. Without that feel of that TFO rod, it wouldn't have been possible. And then the bait, of which everybody knows that we caught them on, was V&M chopsticks. And that was our bait all day long. Our first place team, Brett and Cody, this is the bait they threw all day long. Those chopsticks, it's just V&M put something in it that nobody else does, and it's just the key factor in what helped us play a role that day.
So with this first and second place, ETBU automatically qualifies for the FLW Nationals in 2020. You guys are no stranger to Nationals. This program's only 3 years old, and every year you go to Nationals. So heading into the 4th year, ETBU will have another boat, 2 boats at the Nationals. Talk about, you guys were at Bassmaster Nationals last year. We've had FLW qualifiers. Just talk about qualifying for Nationals and what that means to you guys and to the program, especially being such a young program.
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing. It's something that everybody on the team's striving for every year. From that first tournament in January, or in this case February, we're all just running and gunning, got to get qualified, got to make it by we've only got 3 tournaments for FLW to qualify for. Well, I'm sorry, 4 tournaments. but with one of those being the open tournament that we're fixing to actually go to in another week. But it's just something that with those 4 tournaments, 3 of them, they only take 10 boats, and there'll be 100 to 150 boats in every one of these. So it's something you've really got to, be on some fish and be ready to roll. And then another one that we try to qualify for is Bassmaster. And Bassmaster, they actually take a few more boats, and in our opinion, it's a little bit easier to get into a Bassmaster or a Bassmaster championship. They do the top 25 every tournament, and at the end of the year, if you're high enough in team of the year, usually the top 30, top 25, top 30, somewhere in that range, you can get in through team of the year. So you have to stay consistent in all of those tournaments in about the top 40, top 50 to make that team of the year championship.
What's it feel like to go to a national qualifying, championship? You were in Oklahoma last year for Bassmasters.
It's very rewarding because a lot of people don't see the behind-the-scenes stuff that we do. Like Rayburn, for example, we're down there for 3 weeks straight just preparing for this tournament. It's a lot of hours from daylight to dark on the water. And for it to finally happen, especially the first tournament that you fish of the spring semester, is huge. But it's not only huge for us, it's huge for the program overall. One of our goals this year is we wanted to send all 4 boats to a national championship. And now that we've already gotten 2 in on the first tournament, it kind of relaxes things a little bit and allows us to continue fishing these FLW events to not only help us get school of the year in that, but to help our other 2 boats to get in and be fishing with us, so that come the national championship, we kind of break that lake down a little bit more, as they sometimes go further off to lakes we've never been to before.
So you guys have been a part of this for 3 years. Talk about the ETBU experience, being fishers and men, your vision for the program, what Mark 117 means on your collar, and what the program actually means and does for you guys and for the university.
I mean, it really means a lot to us. When I was a senior in high school, I was really, really shooting towards going to college to fish on a team. And, I was looking at some other colleges, Dallas Baptist, A&M Texarkana, which are all great schools, but it just so happened right before I graduated, ETBU showed up with a fishing team, and I feel like that was the Lord telling me, here you go, this is what you need to do, and it's worked out for me.
Yeah, my path was a little bit different. I went to South Dakota, started off in South Dakota on a soccer scholarship, had some knee problems, came home, and I decided I was going to take my spring semester off and figure out what I wanted to do. And I just woke up one morning, I was scrolling, and I saw on Longview News Journal, ETBU was starting a bass team. And kind of like Jacob, I feel like the Lord placed that there for a reason. Bass fishing's always been something close and dear that I love to do all my life. And I made an appointment with Dr. Blackburn and kind of brought him all the results that I'd had from past tournaments. And he blessed me with the spot. And ever since I've started coming here, it's been a phenomenal experience. The guys that's brought into my life, they're going to be my best friends even after I graduate, long into the rest of my life. And it's really special here. Everybody treats you like I've never been treated before in any other place. Very special, getting to worship with everybody Mondays and Wednesdays, and even on Fridays. I mean, it doesn't just stop at chapel. It's all around this school every day of the week that I'm here. It's something you won't find anywhere else.
Talk a little bit about that specialness, bondness with the team. What does that mean to you, Jacob, and coming in and helping start this program, and you're pretty much in your last year and cherishing all this. What does all that mean to you? And when you leave here, what can you tell other recruits coming in, why they should come be a part of this program?
It definitely means the world to me. These guys on this team, like Mason said, we're going to all be best friends from now on until the day we die. It's something that, we all fuss and fight with each other, but in the end we all make up, and we're all joking and picking on each other every day of the week. we've got this group message between all of us on the fishing team, and including Cameron, our coach, and it goes round and round. It's constantly going off 24/7 with jokes, arguments, and we all just kind of sit back and watch it, and add in. It's funny. It really is something that I encourage everyone that loves to bass fish and really wants to do it in college. I encourage them to come do it because, man, it's just, I don't know, it's an experience like you've never have in high school or anything. You really kind of get a taste of what it's like for the pros in a way, because you're constantly traveling all over. You've got your schoolwork to keep up with, and it's an experience like no other.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations on qualifying for the Nationals in 2020. Thanks for talking to us here on the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show. We had Jacob Keith and Mason Beatty. Thanks for watching, and check back later on for some more videos here on the ETBU Sportsnet.